Welcome to the grand finale of Big Bro Club. I'm the HOH speaking. That's right. I'm the head of household PD who had the final three in the Big Brother draft. And I'm here with the Big Brother loser, Chase. How you feeling, Chase?
I'm the BBL, dude. The Big Brother loser.
Mm-hmm. Everybody calls Chase the BBL. For some reason, they were calling him that before we had a Big Brother pod.
The BBL, man, it wasn't even close, dude. And I'm going to be completely transparent with everybody. After Keanu went home, I didn't even watch the episodes. I watched the finale, but I missed the other two episodes this week.
He didn't want to finish out the journey. Because we made it all the way until, what? How many episodes of the show were there? 40?
There was 3 a week for 3 months. So, tons of episodes.
We make it all the way to the end, and I guess Chase is like, I can skip these two and then just watch the finale.
Care. I just did not care at all, dude. Once Keanu was gone, I don't like Morgan, I don't like Vince, and then I really didn't care for Ashley either. She turned on actually being a good player in the finale, which was great. So I enjoyed watching her in the finale.
She explained how she was a great player the whole time. Chase.
But she didn't turn it on until the finale.
Because that was part of the master plan.
That was the plan.
But
I wasn't criticizing her.
It sounded like it to me, and I'm a big Ashley defender. I have been all season.
That, it was great strategy, but she was boring all season.
I don't think so. I was watching the live feeds. There was a moment where Ashley was on the couch, and she explained her strategy to the camera.
The Elle Woods monologue.
And I happened to be watching, and I was like, oh my God, I thought you were an idiot this whole time. And then she's speaking like very eloquently to the camera, the live feed camera in that moment. And I was like, wow, I can't believe she's fooled everybody. And if she makes it to the end, this would be a great thing it would be like when Sue told everybody her real age.
Yeah. Yeah, that shocking moment. Yeah, I mean, when she did the Elle Woods monologue a few weeks ago, I think that's when everybody realized, oh, she's not dumb. But she still wasn't making interesting moves. It was the Vince and Morgan show for the last month.
It was, and that's also why I found the show interesting at the very end.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, how much can this guy crash out? And as we saw in the finale, the most a person can crash out, he crashed out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and when I say I didn't watch the episodes, guys, I still kept up with all the live feeds and the clips on Twitter and stuff, so I knew what happened. I just didn't feel the need to watch the full episodes. But I did watch the whole finale because I wanted a nice bookend to this journey that we've been on.
And what a journey it's been. We'll reflect on that a little bit later, but let's talk about the finale and how in the beginning of it, they were in that competition that made them look like idiots.
Yes, I wouldn't have done well on that one.
I think I would have crushed it. When I was watching it, I was like, I want to try that.
I don't do well with the spitting stuff. Like how Vince was saying and Ashley, how they both felt like they were going to pass out. That probably would have been me too.
Yeah, I was thinking more about just like, can I hold myself up for that long?
Yeah, I think I could do that just fine. It's the spinning that I would have been able to do.
You know what? Let's book it. Let's put me and Chase in the helicopter challenge.
That's what Big Brother should just hire us to come on and do all of the challenges after the episodes to show people how crazy it can get.
Yeah, let me do the wall comp. I would love that. But Morgan wins because she's the most in shape person. We all knew Vince with his cramps, he was going to fall off. That he wasn't going to win that because he doesn't eat the bananas. We figured out how the finale worked basically because you have the winner of that competition and then you have another competition and then the two winners compete against each other. And it was Ashley against Morgan.
Yeah, a three-part HOH. You have to win one of the first 2 parts to qualify for the third round, which means since Vince did not win the first round or the second round, he does not get to participate in the final HOH round, which decides the actual HOH winner. I thought that was a very interesting way of doing it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was even cooler when in the second competition out comes my idol, Frankie Grande.
Yes. I really enjoyed all season long the way that Big Brother brings back previous players and fan favorites and legends to like participate in the show. You know, we don't get that on Survivor. If you want to see one of your favorite players on Survivor, they have to come back and play the full game again.
Yeah. I mean, do you know how cool it would be if Parvati came out and hosted the auction or something?
Yeah, or Sandra or Coach, you know, just a big Boston Rob, just someone just to come out instead of their loved ones. I don't know them. They're not famous.
Oh, I've got it. Sandra, there could be a twist where like it's a secret advantage that a tribe wins and they can unleash Sandra to go spill all the fish.
That would actually be a ton of fun.
Yeah, Jeff should listen to me. But let's talk about the crash out, because at the end of this competition with Vince and Ashley, they have to put the order in which the players got voted out. They have a bunch of number blocks. They had to. Another thing that made them look ridiculous was, or at least Vince looked ridiculous doing it. Ashley looked pretty normal doing it, but Vince was just flailing around like a moron.
And he was screaming.
Yeah.
He was screaming. He was like, it's the right answer.
But yeah, so we do get to that part where they both realize, or Vince never realized, excuse me. Ashley realizes that she has to put it in the order of eliminations. Vince thinks he has to put the days that they were eliminated. And he just keeps locking in the same thing over and over until he starts having a screaming, crying breakdown. And what were you thinking? Because, I mean, I'm assuming you saw this on Twitter before you actually watched it.
Yeah, I saw it. It, you know, chicken found in barn.
Yeah.
You know, like when I saw this, I texted you. It was late, and I said, "Hey, man, do you think?" And this is a very sensitive topic, so trigger warning for sensitive topics. I was like, "Do you think that because of reality TV, that there's ever going to be a situation where a contestant harms themselves because of the reaction they receive online?" And it kind of joking, just because Vince was just obviously not mentally well in this moment, but also I really am serious about that. The amount of harassing, I guess is the right word, that these people get online, like Riley, which, I mean, you know, we participated in.
Yeah, but we
Vince,
just make jokes. We don't actually send threats to people.
Right, 100%. But like that feeling, if Vince is already like not mentally there when he's screaming and crying and crashing out over this challenge, and then he sees what everyone's been saying about him online this whole summer, like that's going to have a devastating impact on his mental health. And I'm just so curious about how because they do a like very detailed psych evaluation before they're allowed to play Big Brother or Survivor or anything. I don't know how Vince managed to slip through, because he's very clearly not mentally okay.
Well, he's applying for 10 years, and then you don't know how you're going to respond when you're under that kind of pressure. And my response to would somebody harm themselves is like, if that happened, it would be a failure of the show. It'd be a failure of production for not giving them the resources that they need to get through the harassment. Yeah. Because the harassment 100%. Is going to come. And I mean, like they deal with it on such a small scale compared to professional athletes. Like, dude, you drop a ball in a game and go to your DMs, and it's a million times worse than whatever reality TV contestants can get.
Even like high school. I mean, we joked around a lot when Q was on Survivor about how, you know, the front page of his town's newspaper was Burdett fumbles.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're 16 years old, and everyone in your town hates you because you dropped a ball.
Or God forbid, you're the last leg on somebody's touchdown parlay and you didn't get a touchdown.
Yeah, because now money's involved. So now someone's like, I lost $10,000 because of you. Yeah, it's fascinating how much as a people we are just so terrible to people.
Yeah. And then it's also like, you know, people are being terrible to Vince because Vince was terrible to Kelsey. And it's a cycle. But the other thing that I was like, the other football comparison I was thinking of is like when you get to such a big stage and you lose, you got to have your head held high. You got to congratulate the other person. That's just what you do in a competition. You don't go, "Oh fuck, I'm a fucking loser. Fuck, man, I'm the worst."
It was like watching a toddler lose a game of Uno. Yeah. You know. It was like, really
congratulate Ashley. It's her moment.
Yeah, it was a hard watch. so entertaining, of course, because it's reality TV. But when you really like, now that the season's over and I'm looking, a big thing that's hit me today is I've been seeing all of like the Big Brother house guests. They've been on TikTok live together. They've been hanging out. They've been partying. They've been posting online. Ashley made a Instagram post today calling Vince a crybaby and saying,
really,
saying that she deserved the win over him because he was a loser. And it's because of something. You know, it was a screen recording of something that Vince said about her on one of the episodes. And so she's like, "Oh yeah, well, who's the loser now?" And it's just the big thing that I've been thinking about today is like, oh, these people are just regular people now after a summer where they are the biggest thing in the world, in their heads, in their minds, and in their audience of the Big Brother audience, millions of people. And then I think this is what leads to like 3 years from now, we'll see Amy, who was eliminated in the second week, being live on TikTok every night talking about Big Brother, and people are like, hey, I don't even know who you are. It's just such a fascinating ecosystem of reality stars being the most talked about thing on the internet, and then no one cares about them anymore the second that the show is over.
Yeah, that's why you got to pivot. You got to have other stuff going on, like killer music, like Mary.
Yeah,
Mary. I feel like Mary's never going to be somebody who's on TikTok live every day being like, so you see the new episode? Because she's actually cool. Yeah.
And not saying that you can't participate in because like Rachel, I think, is not like that. Rachel is this Big Brother legend who has stayed a part of the Big Brother culture for years and years, and it doesn't come across as, desperate or needy. She just enjoys it. And so I'm just really fascinated by just like, and this goes for Survivor players too, Wipeout, any reality show. I'm just very fascinated about the effect that has on people.
I don't think Wipeout, they don't get their moment in the sun quite like Big Brother and Survivor players do. But
oh, yeah? You don't know all of the Wipeout winners, dog?
I don't, dude. Only American Ninja Warrior. Wait, that reminds me. Amy. There's something that... Crying Amy.
Crying Amy.
If you can find it, somebody bought us a cameo from Amy.
Oh, yes, I can find it. I totally forgot about this.
And let me give a disclaimer. We did not ask for this.
No.
And we wouldn't have asked for this. I think it... Thank you to the person who did it.
This was sent by our good buddy Marco, who listens to the show. We love Marco.
Shout out to Marco. Crying Marco.
With his own money, a cameo from Crying Amy, and had her give us a message. So I'm going to play that now.
Hi, Petey and Chase. Oh
hey,
my
Amy.
gosh, congratulations on your podcast. Marco wants to say congrats, and so do I. And you picked the very best year to start doing Big Brother also, because it was my season. So you would not have known Crying Amy unless you did it this year. So perfect. I'm so glad you started the Big Brother podcast this year, or added them to your podcast this year, because you got to meet me. And good news, I don't cry anymore. I've officially used all of my tears while I was on the show. So anyway, congrats on your show. I hope it's amazing and great. And hopefully you get a real interview with Riley Jeffries, because that was not Riley. I just tried to check you guys out, and that was not Riley. But who was that? I'm really curious. But anyway, good luck, guys. Congratulations. And no more crying, Amy.
Well, Amy, it was
She
Jimmy.
handled it really well.
Yeah,
it was Jimmy.
It was. Jimmy does such a good Vince impersonation that he's fully won me over with the Vince thing. But
really, so that won you over.
Him and the mustache and the flannel.
Yeah,
and he does an incredible Jimmy voice. I mean, he does an incredible Vince voice.
Yeah, no, he does a great impression. But I think that was like I think he's a prime example of what I was saying of like, he got evicted, but his obviously, and we knew this about Jimmy when he was in the show, is his goal going in was to become a reality show legend. He wanted the catchphrases. He wanted to be remembered. He wanted to be brought back for things. He wants to be a Big Brother all-star, Big Brother legend. And so, when he gets eliminated, he just immediately starts becoming like a Big Brother influencer. I mean, we're doing a podcast about Big Brother too.
Yeah, which Amy congratulated us on, and congratulations for what? Anybody can start a podcast, but thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. But one thing about the cameo is that, like, I feel like she doesn't, like, I liked Amy. I drafted Amy. I wanted her to succeed, and I don't know if she gets the full picture when all she knows about us is I called her Crying Amy. So I hope that she knows that I was a fan of her.
I don't think she cares.
I hope that she knows that I supported her from day one.
The cameo read to me like she was just like
getting a paycheck.
Yeah, she's getting a paycheck, but also, she's taking it great. She's like, I cried on the show, but you know what? I'm being a good sport about it. Thank you, guys. She listened to the fake Riley stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think she understood that it was a joke. I think it felt to me like she was kind of treating us like Make-A-Wish kids. Being like, oh, your little podcast.
Yeah, well, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Marco, because it was a funny thing to play on the show.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. Thank you, both of you.
In the future, if you're going to buy us a cameo, I want it to be from Jimmy. I want one of the listeners out there because Chase hates him.
I don't like Jimmy, dude.
I like him a little bit. What I was going to say earlier is that, like, I think they should bask in it while the season's going on. Yeah, they should be posting about it. They should be soaking up the limelight. So I don't fault Jimmy for what he's doing right now.
But did you see, like, because my big issue with Jimmy was the fact that he stole all of his one-liners this season, and then even his moment in the finale. Did you see where that was taken from a different Big Brother finale?
I saw a clip where it was somebody else saying something similar. Was it like word for word?
It wasn't bar for bar, but it was pretty close. I mean, he's already a repeat offender. You know what I mean?
They found another example of a gay guy hyping somebody up. I think it's just, a coincidence. Like, I think you're profiling.
Maybe, man. I think, because, I gave that whole kind of heartfelt speech about how I worry about the reality show contestants, but Jimmy doesn't count. I don't like Jimmy.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy very confidently said that Vince and Kelsey were broken up on a live.
Yeah, he's been a little messy. I've been having a great time watching all of the house guests together on TikTok lives and stuff. Like, Ashley said that her father contacted production about Riley because Riley said that he was going to trip her.
Oh.
And on this live, one of the comments was talking about how Riley's a father, and she screams, "Riley's a father!" And all the other house guests were like, "Shh, you can't talk about that." But she just won $750,000. She doesn't care, dude.
Ashley can do what she wants. So where were we before we talked about Crying Amy? Oh yeah, we were talking about Vince's screaming, crying meltdown. Crying Vince.
Crying Vince.
Yeah, so he crashes out. And then he understands that, or he thinks that his game is done and that he's about to get cut. And there's no way that Morgan would take him. Well, Morgan doesn't get to take him because Ashley dominates the next competition. She becomes the final HOH, and she makes the smart decision of sending Morgan packing. Because I think with all the competition wins and being HOH through Vince a bunch of times, I think Morgan would have... It would have been at least a split vote. It definitely wouldn't have been almost unanimous the way it was with Ashley and Vince.
Yes,
but let's talk about the final tribal, if you will. I don't know what they call it. What did they call it?
The finale, the Big Brother finale. I think.
Do they not have like a word for the or the meeting or so?
The final HOH, I think maybe is what they. I don't know.
I need to figure out what the official BB term is for that, but
I don't think they had one.
Ashley, you could tell she had been practicing. She knew exactly what she wanted to say, and she would not stop saying it until Julie made her. And here's what I want to point out, and one of the reasons why I was like, holy shit, she is acing this. She is making this weasel shaking his boots. Is because Julie would try to cut her off. She would keep going until she found like a stopping point. She wouldn't just stop.
Yeah.
Julie would say, "Thank you, Vince," and Vince, even if he was in the middle of a sentence, he would just go like,
Yep.
shut down.
Yep.
Ashley kept going until her point was finished.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I think she deserves to win. I think there's a lot of people online that are like, she doesn't deserve to win. I disagree. I think she deserves to win because she played the game. She played it low key, played dumb, and then in the last episode, turned it up, won the final HOH, and showed that she was a really good speaker. So it's like, that's all you have to do.
She did such a good job of articulating all of the different alliances she made, and the fact that, coming from Showergate, where she was the first person on the block, being the first person, or like being on the first three, it's a tough thing to escape. We saw that with Kelly and Keanu.
Yeah.
Where it's just like they were the first targets, so they're the easy targets for the rest of the season. They just keep going up and up. Like that K-pop song.
I have no clue.
Demon Hunters on Netflix. You know what I'm talking about?
K-pop
We're going
Demon
up,
Hunters?
up, it's our moment. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I don't know the words, but I keep seeing that on my TikTok. All right.
Dude,
so
let me ask you
Chase
this
isn't
question.
into K-pop?
No. K-pop and Jimmy. I don't like either. Let me ask you this question. Final two is Ashley and Vince. Do you think that there's any world where Vince wins? I think it doesn't matter what. Ashley could have sat there and said nothing, and I think she still would have won against Vince.
I think there's a world in which Vince actually has good arguments, maybe. I don't know. They kept pressing him on things like, was the crying genuine? Was the...
Right.
Like, were all the conversations you had genuine? And
he just whiffed all those answers.
Kept contradicting himself.
Yeah.
To like the very last thing he said was like, "Yeah, it was gameplay. It was self-preservation. I was like trying. It might not have all like the words might have not been true, but it was like it's genuine emotion. But when asked, he was like, it was all real. And anytime I cried, it was real. So it's like, what is your actual answer? And either way, it doesn't make him look good.
No, he didn't. The best case he could have done is just say, yeah, everything was strategic. I manipulated and lied and cheated to do whatever I could to win. That's, I think, the only way he would have gotten some votes, because I think that's what they were hoping for when they said, was all the crying real or was that gameplay? But I think that the whole jury had their mind made up. Because even earlier in the finale, when they're just sitting around and the jury's just talking about what they want to see from a winner, it was very clear. I think Kelly, who also had a complete 180 after she got eliminated, she became like so smart and funny. She goes, there's such a thing as unnecessary lying and unnecessary manipulation. And I think Vince did not do it strategically. And I think she was absolutely... I think they all were very upset with Vince. There was no world where he was winning.
Yeah. And if Morgan was up there, I think that...
Morgan would have won.
Yeah, or at least it would have been split. Because I think Ashley still would have had an amazing performance. Because I don't think Gamer Girl Streamer is going to be as articulate.
Okay. You mean Morgan and Ashley, not Morgan and Vince.
Because
I think Ashley would have won.
I'm pretty sure Morgan would have brought Ashley at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think there were going to be some people that would have voted for Morgan if she was up against Ashley, because there were people that thought that she did such a great job at manipulating other people's HOH, as they brought up several times. How they were essentially like, Vince didn't play the game. Morgan puppeteered him. So I think she would have got some votes, but I think it still would have been Ashley. But if it was Vince and Morgan, I think Morgan would have destroyed Vince too.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was over for Vince when Kelly was straight up laughing at him when he implied that him and Kelly were aligned.
Dude, I felt bad for him a little bit when they were all... I don't remember if they were all voting or they were all asking the questions. But at that, someone goes, I can't remember who said it, but they said, Morgan played Vince's HOH. Vince didn't even play his own HOH. And the look on his face Was it like it really hurt his feelings? I think that was the moment he realized he was not going to win.
I wish we had a live feed of what's going on with him right now.
I mean, you can check out online, man. They're all talking, they're all hanging out, they're all posting videos and answering questions and stuff.
Is Vince part of that?
I don't know. He hasn't been in any of the videos I've seen, but from what I understand, they're all together.
Mm.
They're all in like the same Airbnb together, hanging out. Like Riley and Catherine are there. Riley was on live, and someone said, "Where is Vince and Morgan?" And he goes, "Probably together." And then Catherine goes, "Riley, no." And Riley goes, "I mean, they're not together. Probably not together."
That's hilarious. Let him speak freely.
That's what I've been. I don't know if I've done a great job of articulating it in this episode, but I'm so fascinated with this ending where like they're all hanging out after the show and they're all online talking about stuff. I'm so fascinated by it
because you want to know how all the drama that we learned about while they were in there plays out.
Well, just that, and also just like how it's affecting their psyches. You know what I mean? Where it's like they've gone through something that very little people have gone through. You know what I mean? And it's like we did the athlete comparison, but even that is so different.
Yeah, and Survivor is very different too, because with Survivor, you get to see it all play out in real time. You get to be part of the discourse. On Big Brother, you just get flooded with the discourse. Months of worth of it if you make it far enough.
It's like, wow, how overwhelming that must be, especially if it's hate.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to apply for Big Brother and like intentionally get knocked out early on just so I can, get a few extra followers, chill in LA for a little bit.
Yeah. Good idea. That's a good idea.
And then I can go live for the rest of the season.
That's very true. I don't think I could do Big Brother. That's because if you accidentally do well, you're there for like 3 months. That's such a long time.
Yeah. Or if I'm accidentally like, what if I get in a relationship and then I want to cheat on, because apparently that's what the house does to you. It just makes you want to be a cheating loser.
Yeah. Dang, dude. Yeah. Because that's a hard, Would you, if you were to join Big Brother and say you had a relationship before you got cast, would you just go ahead and end that relationship before you jump in there?
I mean, it depends on like if Rachel's coming back for another season. Probably I would like end my relationship, try to end hers.
You want to? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I would go for. Because I want somebody who's rich.
Right. You want someone who's won before, of course. Yeah.
Who's won before and has a ton of money.
Yeah.
I can be a stepdad.
Of course. You can be the dad that stepped up. I have one last thing to talk about. When we drafted our Big Brother drafts, earlier when we were talking about Crying Amy, you said that you drafted Amy, you supported Amy. She was your last draft pick. I wanted to bring that up. Would you like to know who your second to last draft pick was?
Ashley, right?
Ashley. Yeah.
Yep.
The winner of the season went in the second to last round of the draft.
Yeah, well, there were 4 people left. I was like, let me buy low on Showergate and see if she can turn it around.
The last draft picks were Amy and Jimmy, and then the second to last were Ashley and Keanu.
Wow.
Isn't that insane?
That is pretty crazy. Also, the first time in any draft that I've had the final 3, and if it wasn't for the stupid mastermind twist that we did, I would have had the 4. Yeah, I would have had the final 4, which is just like, I mean, I've never had a draft so dominant. It's great to. I feel like I'm ramping up for Survivor. Even though, I mean, drafting 1-on-1 with Chase. I mean, this is my second time doing it. Second time I've won. I mean, I need better competition, I think. So for next year of Big Bro Club, we're gonna have to like bring in at least one more person.
Okay. All right.
So I'm trying to be messy too. I'm taking inspiration from my idol Jimmy. I'm not even wearing a shirt right now. I'm just wearing a robe and glasses.
Since you won the draft, I have to buy you a Big Brother HOH robe from the Paramount site. So I will do that.
I was hoping you could get like a name on it because I wanted Ashley on the back. Oh, you can?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I will get Ashley's name on the back.
Okay, because when I was looking, I didn't see a thing for names. So, but
when earlier in the season they had it, so maybe they don't. But I'll double check. I'll make it happen. Worst case, I'll embroider it myself.
That would be even better if you had to do labor.
Yeah, and yep, because I'm true to the draft. I'm true to my word. But I want to make one thing very clear. You have officially. We just went through week 1 of Survivor, and everybody, we're all friends. We haven't drafted yet, but you made the first shot, buddy. So not only am I going to win Survivor 49, I'm going to win Survivor 50. Then for Big Brother next year, I'm going to have the final 6. And you're going to rue the day that you ever opened your mouth like that to me, brother.
Oh, I'm very excited to see how all this plays out. To see if Chase is now making the merge / Big Brother. I was about to say Big Brother Club. That's not what we call it. Nope. The Big Bro Club. Let's see if you can have a multi-show dynasty for the next 3 seasons. It sounds like it's pretty improbable, but I see the look in your eyes. You look pretty determined right now. So we'll see how it plays out.
You've awoken the sleeping giant, brother. 6'4", 200 pounds. I won Survivor Draft for season 47. Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm. Because I took Sue. I made a fatal mistake. I need to I got to tighten things up. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and lay out my Survivor strategy. Let's taking only strong men.
Is that what you're doing for this year?
No, I'm probably not actually going to do that. I'm going to wing it. I'm going to see how episode 2 goes, see who I like, and then I'm going to do what Teg talked about too, which is just go in there. That's what I did for my fantasy football draft. I'm undefeated through 3 weeks or 4 weeks now. I was just like, you know what? I know who my guys are, and I'm going to try to get them.
Okay. One last question. Do you think that the system is rigged for me to always draft last? And do you think that I would have more wins under my belt if it wasn't for that fact?
I don't know how a random wheel generator could be rigged. Maybe there's some code in it that we don't know about where it's like if you input Chase, it's going to be the 4th place every time. Who knows? Have you ever thought about the order in which you input the names? Have you done it the same way every time, or is it random?
No, it's been different every time. It's completely random.
That's crazy.
I've drafted last every single time, even when we did a mock draft, even for the Big Brother draft, and there was just 2 of us. Every single time, I'm the last one to draft.
I wonder what the actual odds are, because this is how many times? Not 5, 6, 7 drafts in a row? Something
counting
crazy?
The mock draft, I think it's 5 in a row.
Man, I don't know. I don't understand how that's possible. I would like to look up what the actual odds are of getting the same result out of 1 and 4 5 times in a row. It's got to be low.
Yeah, because let's see, 1 out of 4 would be a 25% chance, and I've gotten it none out of 5.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy. All right. I'm very excited for guys. The next podcast that will pop up on this podcast feed will be our week 2 coverage of Survivor, and then our Survivor draft. This is it for Big Brother.
Yep. What a season it was. It was a great time. I really enjoyed going from the beginning, total confusion. What are all these words? What are all these challenges? And then, I fell in love with the show and Julie Chen Moonves and Rachel Riley.
Emphasis on the Moonves.
Emphasis on the Julie. And emphasis on the chin. And emphasis on the moon, but not the Vez.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm grateful. that we got to experience this as our first season because it was total chaos. Even though a lot of the people who have been Big Brother fans are like, this is like the worst time to start watching. I didn't know what they were talking about. I was having a lot of fun with all the chaos.
Me too. I got to see Mr. Pectacular, the Big Brother legend, the TNA champion, Jesse show up as one of the masterminds. We got to see Frankie Grande.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about the mastermind twist.
Yeah. I don't know who the third guy was.
I feel like they just made all that shit up in the last week, and they're like,
I think so. I think so too.
I have no idea how long, like in advance, they had that planned out. It felt like they just slapped it together, and that it had no impact on the season or future seasons.
I didn't know we were supposed to be trying to figure out who the mastermind was. I thought it was just a new character.
Yeah, I thought he was just the mastermind, or maybe Boston Rob. Who knows?
Right.
That was a theory going around for a little bit.
We got to see Dr. Will. We got to see Jesse, who we know as a pro wrestler. We don't know him as a Big Brother player, but and then we got to see Frankie Grande.
Yep, it was a great time. Thank you, BB Nation. And you know what? You said the next episode is the week 2 coverage. I might fuck around and drop the draft on the same day.
Really? That's crazy.
Or maybe I'll wait until the next day. But it'll be like Thursday. Thursday we'll have week 2. Friday, the draft.
I'm pulling out the mullet for the last few seconds of this show.
How long are you going to keep a mullet? Is that for the show? Is that like you're supposed to have a mullet?
Yeah. So once
so you're going to have a mullet for
several weeks. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of hats for me.
So that people can't tell you have a mullet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you ashamed?
Not ashamed. I just don't want people to think that I made this choice willingly. You
should wear a Kid Rock shirt, and then people will think that you made the choice willingly.
Because I already drive a truck, too.
Yeah. You're mullet coated.
I'll be at a concert tonight, and I don't want people to think that this is who I am. You know.
What's the concert?
Joe Keery.
It sounds familiar.
He's the
I thought
guy.
you were going to say Joe Coy, and I was going to be like, that's not a concert.
That's the guy that plays Steve in Stranger Things.
Oh, really? Where is that
musician? Asheville.
Nice. Is that the Orange Peel?
I have no idea.
Well, have fun with that. I didn't realize that he was a touring musician.
Yeah, he's really good. I like him.
That's sick. All right. Reporting for the BBC. This has been Chase and PD.
HOHPD and BBL Chase.
That's right.
You're about to hear some ads that help keep the lights on here in the old studio. Thanks for listening or don't listen. It's really up to you at this point. It's at the end of the show. I mean, you're listening to me. Hi. But here they come. I promise they're coming. Yep, here they are. Happy day.